Charlie, quick D. You know, yesterday for the race,
yes,
we were kind of joking that, all the roads in Ghana are good for cross country. Because they're all rough and ragged, But it shouldn't be so. They're good for cross country running, but they're terrible for the purpose with which they exist, which is for vehicles and all that. And this is no exception. The road that we're going to be looking at today, it's really bad.
So the road that we're going to be looking at is the Kumbungu Dalun Nawuni stretch of the highway. And you know what? Let's not talk too much. Let's take a look at this inset. You see it for yourself. We'll come back and continue the conversation.
Hundreds of residents from Nawuni, Dalun and its adjoining communities took to the streets to express their frustrations over the deplorable state of their road. They bemoaned the neglect by successive governments and called for action. The Dalun community, which is about 35 kilometers away from the regional capital, Tamale, is home to the Ghana Water Company treatment plant. Sand winning and vegetable farming are among other activities that take place in the area. According to residents, the pothole-ridden road is impacting negatively on socioeconomic activities in the area. The dust emanating from the road, they say, is also having health implications on their lives. Here are some protesters speaking to City News.
Since 1992, we are facing this road. So are we not part of Ghana? Dalun people, are we not part? We are also part of Ghanaians. So we are appealing to government to try and then make sure that Dalun road is fixed.
We understand it has been on contract for almost 6 years now, but nothing is done on it. So our message is just simple. We are just appealing to the government to come out and tell us the truth. What is the state of the road? Either it has been given to a contractor or not.
In fact, it's actually affecting our economic activities here.
Yes.
Dalun is a major contributor to the development of the northern region. If you look at the sea sand, you look at the source of water to Tamale and its environs, it's all coming from this place. But the road has been left untied for so many years now. And prior to the 2016 general election, the NDC government promised to construct the road within 3 months. It actually came to pass. And during that same year campaign, His Excellency, the Vice President, he was the running mate then, he promised to construct the road from Bontanga to Nawunde. He even go beyond to promise the good people of Dalun a senior high school and also to put a bridge on the Nawunde River. Not only that, also to build a market for Dalun. But all this has not actually been fulfilled.
It has really, not helping the women at all because they can't do any other business. If they bring their food out because of the dust, they can't even sell because all the food dust particles will enter the food, and because of that too, most of the children are not going to school because that is really disturbing a lot of the children and the women, and it's affecting women a lot. So we are appealing to the DC in the district here, to the president and the vice president to come to our aid so that our road will fix because it's really disturbing us.
After nearly 2 hours of protesting, the residents presented a petition to the Kumbungu District Assembly, pleading with the president to, as a matter of urgency, bring back the contractor who was seen on the site prior to the 2020 general elections.
We write to petition the office of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, through your high office to hear our plea and bring back the contractor as a matter of urgency to fix our road. Dalun is the largest contributor of internally generated funds through sand winning along the White Volta. A good road will increase the revenue in astronomical numbers. We therefore call on you to, as a matter of urgency, return the contractor to work on the construction of on the fulfillment of the numerous pledges made by your government to the chiefs and people of the area. His Excellency the Vice President himself made the promise to get the road fixed, and we want to remind him to fulfill that promise. We deserve a good road to provide easy transportation of people, food, sea sand and chemicals.
Receiving the petition, the Assistant Director for the Assembly assured the residents that their concerns will be addressed, but could not explain why the contractor abandoned site.
The road should have been fixed, but due to 1 or 2 reasons, we'll take your petition and present it to appropriate quarters for redress. So in due course, you will hear from whatever
The result of this petition will be communicated to you.
What's the state of the committee?
Yes, he came and started the work, but along the line he left. So we did several efforts to bring him back, but we are still in the process.
These are residents of Dalun community protesting over poor road network. Their request is simple. They want government to fix their roads for them.
All right, so that's our report on the state of the Dalun Kumbungu Nawuni stretch.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to be speaking to the leader of the Dalun Youth Association. His name is Mahama Safiamu. He's joining us on the phone to give us a bit more perspective and some info on the demonstration and what the residents of the area are expecting to be done. A very good morning to you, Mahama.
Good morning, madam.
All right, welcome to Breakfast Daily. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and good morning to your viewers.
All right. Now, we saw some impressive numbers come out for this demonstration in Dalun. About how many people would you say were there?
Yeah, so a lot of people came out, and as by estimation, I think about 600, 700 people turned out for the demonstration.
Right. Okay. All right. Just give us, again, overview of the status of this road over the years. Now, we heard one person say that since 1992, this road has been a problem. Another said that 6 years ago, the road was supposed to be done. Contractor did come and start something, maybe grading the road, but has left post. So give us some more insight into the timelines for this road and the promises that have not yet been fulfilled.
Okay, thank you very much. So, talking about timelines, we can relate back to 1996. By then, former President Jerry John Rawlings came to Kumbungu, and it was the time that Honorable Mohamed Mumuni, who became the Minister for Employment and Social Welfare, that was the time that they wanted him to become the MP for Kumbungu. Then the former President, Jerry John Rawlings, made a promise that if we vote for the NDC and for Honorable Mohamed Mumuni, he will make sure the road starts from Tamale to Nawuni. We did vote for the NDC, we voted for Mohamed Mumuni, he became the MP again and again, but this promise has never been fulfilled. Now, fast forward to 2016, the NDC again brought a contractor by name Ucom Construction to work on this particular road. He started feverishly because we saw him bring all his equipment, his trucks and everything, and started very well. And we're told that the road will be fixed within 3 months. That was when we were getting closer to the election. So we were told within 3 months the road will be fixed. Everyone was happy, we were joyous, and then we thought our problem was over. But lo and behold, that promise was never, at the point the contractor abandoned the contract and then left. Until now, we don't even know where the contractor is. Again, in 2020, the DCE, the current DCE for Kumbungu, he came with the contractor to the Dalun Chief's Palace. And before the chief and peoples of Dalun, he said the contractor had been given money to come and finish fixing the road. Again, we thought the problem was over, but until today, the problem is still not over. So it has been like this since 1996, and it has hit a rock bottom. Because the reason why those numbers came out yesterday is because a lot of people, almost everyone is suffering from the state of the road. You can imagine people having respiratory diseases because of the dust. The dust is just too much, especially when you come to Dalun and if adjoining communities around 5:30 p.m. Between 5:30 and 8 p.m. you'll be sad because that is where all the tipper trucks that go to the seaside to fetch the sea sand, that's where they are moving back in their numbers to Tamale. And that is where the dust is unbearable. So not that alone. We have said that Dalun is the largest contributor in terms of internally generated funds to the Kumbungu District Assembly. And this is not a lie. Because if you ask the DCE, himself will attest to the fact that Dalun, if Dalun is taken out of the Kumbungu District, it means that Kumbungu District will be dysfunctional. Because they won't have any international reserve funds to rely on. They only have to rely on the central government, and that will be so sad. So we are calling on the government. This is not the only problem. When you come to Dalun, the people are farmers. Dalun has been contributing to the buffer stock of food to the northern region over all these years in numbers that is even unimaginable. So all these things, and again, when you come to Dalun, you see that there's the water treatment plant of the Ghana Water Company. I think that's the second largest in Ghana, apart from the one at Winter, if I'm not wrong. And we have the head works in Dalun. There's the intake works in Nawuni. This one, because this one has not been fixed, it is very difficult for them to bring the chemicals from Accra or wherever they are bringing it from to Dalun. This is affecting us every single day. And we just call it, we are not asking for too much. We're just calling on the government to fulfill its promise. Because it looks like past governments have failed. And we can't continue to live in this situation. It is too bizarre. We can't continue this way.
Okay, Mahama, so you're saying last year you were told by the DC that money had actually been given to a contractor.
The contractor to confirm that before the chief and people of Dalun.
And since then
you've heard... He has been given money to come and fix the road. But in a short while, he ran away with his equipment. We don't know where he is.
Really? And you've engaged I'm assuming the assembly since then, and they haven't been able to tell you anything?
We've been speaking to the DC. The DC, the last time we spoke to him, he said he himself confirmed that he is not able to trace the contractor at this moment. That all efforts to trace the contractor have proved futile. So he himself doesn't even know where the contractor is. That is the most shocking part of it. Because we understand and we know that the DC has the capacity to fish out the contractor wherever he is. But he himself said he is not able to trace the contractor at this moment. So we are confused at this moment.
Mahama, do you know the name of the contractor?
The contractor, we know him by UCOM Construction.
UCOM.
UCOM.
UCOM. Okay.
N or M?
UCOM.
M as in Mary.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. As in man.
Okay.
Yeah.
UCOM contractors.
Yeah.
All right. At least we have that information. It looks like we're staring a health crisis in the face because of this dust, and a livelihood crisis as well, very from what he's saying. Okay. Yeah. All right, Mahama, we'll touch base with you again sometime later. Thank you for updating us and giving us more insight into the program.
Yes.
All right.
And I'll be available anytime.
Thank you. All right. Muhammad Safiamu is the leader of the Dalun Youth Association, and he was just giving us some more perspective as to why this road is still in the state that it's in. And it's perplexing to me, Kwekudi,
it's very confusing. I don't understand.
A contractor was paraded before everyone who's anyone in the town.
Yeah.
And attested to the fact that he had been paid to do this work, and now they can't find him.
Yeah. And I don't understand when someone says, DCE says, I have no idea where the contractor is.
How?
I mean, nobody... I don't understand.
Well,
it's a company.
Vanished into right?
It's
Exactly.
a company.
It's a company which has to have properly registered, everything.
Yes. I mean, before you can get a contract, you are registered. You have records at
you have to jump through
General,
tender, go and get your tender, this procurement, that
all of that. So
you even have to mobilize because they don't pre-finance roads.
Yeah.
So you have to mobilize.
Yes.
So how can they tell us? But even with that, they're now saying he was actually given money.
Yes.
So how was he given money?
I don't understand.
How did they pre-finance
I found
that
that very curious though, because you say when you say he was given money and then he comes to say yes, I've been given money.
Because what we know is that when contractors are asked to do the work.
I don't know if there's a new practice of doing that.
Exactly.
Because ideally, Ministry of Finance will pay you after some time when the road has been done, or you I think you're supposed to tender in your certificate of completion of the work.
Yes, and it has to be inspected.
At whatever stage you've completed, you tender in, you inspect it, you submit it, then it gets you get paid for that part of the job.
Well, maybe in Dalun they are pre-financing road work, but this is exactly why maybe you shouldn't do that, because now the contractor can't be found.
Yeah.
But I find that bizarre.
It's very, very bizarre.
Honestly, if the properly registered construction company, what's it called? UCOM.
UCOM.
If anyone has any information about UCOM construction, that was awarded a contract to repair this road, please, you can get in touch with us. You can get in touch with the assembly there. let's find this person and find out what's going on.
Yeah.
But I find it very difficult to believe that he cannot be found, or somebody involved with that company cannot be found, honestly. But really, the state of that road, as Mahama said, the health implications of that amount of dust that people are inhaling on a daily basis is a problem. And interestingly, you know, he mentioned the sand winning across the River Volta.
Yes.
That's a huge source of income and revenue for the assembly there. But it's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
it is a
sand
double-edged
winning in
sword.
itself.
We know the detrimental
environmental impact
of sand winning. And then the trucking of these trucks at 5 p.m. every evening as they're coming back from the sand winning activities is a nightmare. You know, because you're trucking into town or through town at 5 p.m. People are now settling in. It's evening, so people are coming to their homes. So you're blowing, and he said it goes on until about 8 p.m.
Imagine all of that.
All of that dust.
Even with them walking, you could see the kind of dust that was being generated.
Kokui, if you've ever lived in any of these kind of areas before, I mean, I have had the experience of staying in some of these places before. Lived up in the north for a bit. Also went to, back in 95, I was in Nyankpala. Nyankpala, between Tamale and Nyankpala in 95, the road was like this.
That.
The road was exactly like this. And you know, people live in these places, they get used to the way the road is, right? So when you're driving, they don't drive like you're a newbie. They drive expert Formula One drivers, you know. So the dust that blows, listen, 25-30-minute journey from Tamale to Nyankpala back in those days. By the time you arrive, okay, even with windows rolled up, you're going to have red sand, red dust in your nostrils. Okay, you're using your handkerchief to scoop dust. So you can imagine what has gone into your lungs.
Yes. You know, if I'm not mistaken,
and that's with rolled up windows.
Yes.
So you can imagine for people who are exposed to the direct.
Yeah, I think respiratory diseases are the #1 group of illnesses we are facing in Ghana, if I'm not mistaken, if we check our records. And part of this, or this is part of the reason why. It's not surprising at all. But again, we have to get to the bottom of this. And I know our team will try to do that if we can speak to the right people. We did try to reach the DC for Kumbungu again to give us some more insight. We haven't been successful so far. Yes, but I suppose we'll still keep trying because this is too bizarre to be left alone. Maybe, hopefully the MP is watching. Maybe can also give us some insight into what's going on there. I mean, this is your domain. This is under your purview. So if you're in Parliament and discussions on roads come up, what are you doing to fight for your people or to lobby for them to get this fixed? Let us know. We'll find out who that person is as well. But I just this is
bizarre.
It is bizarre. It's bizarre.
I mean, oh gosh. Anyway, we'll get back to this, like you said.
We will get back to it.